Hello everyone, welcome to CivilPrep. I am Krishna Gupta. So in this session, we'll be looking at a case study which is based on Global Science Policy Panel on chemical pollution. Okay, so this is one of the pollution convention which is based on the science policy. Okay, and here we'll be looking at the various geographical perspective for understanding that how the pollution is tackled, how it is managed effectively by the people, by the various countries, nations in the contemporary time. Okay, so starting with this part here, we have a background here. So Uruguay is one of the country which is present in South America. Okay, so here we have one city, that is Punta del Este. So this Punta del Este, on the date of 15th to 18th June 2025, that is just 4 to 5 days from the contemporary time. So here a meeting was held. So this meeting, it was held by United Nations to form a consensus to form a global science policy body on chemical waste pollution. Okay, so here the complementary agencies which were present here, those were IPCC and IPBES. IPCC, we are aware of, it is International Panel on Climate Change. And when we talk about the IPBES, it stands for IPBES, it basically stands for Intergovernmental Science Policy Platform. Okay, Intergovernmental Science Policy Platform on Biodiversity and Ecosystem Services. Okay, so here these two were the party to the meetings, but here there was a addition of one body has been done. Okay, an addition of a body has been done, which will be a part of these two bodies, that is IPCC and IPBES, for looking at the various development with respect to tackling of pollution, chemical-based pollution in the different regions of the world. Okay, so here, if we look at the rising concerns, that is the part of impact of chemicals on human health. So chemical-related deaths, okay, where a report has been published by WHO in 2019. It was around 2 million per year, and the causes were majorly pollution of water, soil, and food chains. Then certain toxic chemicals in packaging, agriculture, and industrial waste. Packaging like water, food we consume daily, then agricultural part, the fertilizers, pesticides, insecticides, then industrial waste coming out of the various regions, okay, from the various industrial units like steel industry, pharmaceutical industry, then petroleum industry, uh, cement industry, etc. Okay, so what we need here, we need a global framework for the resolution which is adopted by UNEA in the year of 2022. Okay, next we'll be looking at here the chemicals failed humans in this aspect. Number one, the delegates failed to adopt protection of human health as a core mandate. So this body which is being formed, okay, the body which is formed here for the protection of human health, it is not looking at the causes of the human health at its core. Second thing, the opposition feared expanded regulatory pressures on the petrochemical sectors, because petrochemical sector is one of the most dangerous sector which has been in the contemporary time, which is producing various harmful waste. Apart from this, there is also concern for transparency, consensus for decision making, and limited observer rights within this panel. Then potential undermining of precautionary principle. So this is one of the principle of environmental conservation. So Looking at the relevant models and theories which can be applied here, the number one, we have precautionary principle. It is formed by United Nations framework under the Rio Declaration of 1992, under which the principle 15 specifies the precautionary principle, which specifies to take preventive action when there is scientific uncertainty about the harm. So this is one of the most important principle taken up under the UN. Now, number two, here we have political ecology. Here it has been provided by Piers Blakey, okay, where the African land degradation was seen, and another theorist is Paul Robbins, who has provided here the political ecology in 21st century. Now, number three, here we have welfare geography. So welfare, we are looking at the people who are getting affected because of this chemical pollutants. So here David M. Smith, under the welfare geography of 1977, emphasized the spatial justice, access to services, and equity in the planning part. And the onus it is put on the government. Now, after this, here we have FDES framework, standing for Framework for the Development of Environmental Statistics, which was developed by United Nations Statistics Division in 2013. Now, the basis for India's ENVISATS 2025, integrating the environmental and economic indicators for sustainable development and planning. So these are models which we can apply for this particular case of chemical pollution, which is seen in the contemporary time. Then, what are the various perspective prism it is saying here? So number one, here we have the positivist geography. Okay, the positivism, which is looking at the scientific principle. So here we'll be seeing that the first theorist is Fred K. Shepard. He advocated geography as a special science, basically exceptionalism in geography, which is debated with the Hartshorne also. Then we have Peter Haggett. He pioneered spatial analysis and models in human geography, okay, whose work can also be seen from the perspective of how we can work on the models with respect to controlling of the chemical pollution. Then if we look at the radical geography, here we have David Harvey, who is a Marxist geographer. He linked urbanism and the capital accumulation. So according to him, what is happening? The capitalists, they are accumulating they are basically the cause and reason for the increase in the pollution, the chemical pollution throughout the world. So according to him, the capitalists are the result of this kind of pollution. Then we have Richard Pitt also. He emphasized the political economy of environment and development. So according to him, wherever the structures of capitalists are present, so they are resulting into the influence over the political system and the economic system, which in the other hand is impacting environment and the development of the region. Then we have sustainable development perspective. Here we have Gro Harlem Brundtland. Okay, so Brundtland Commission report you might have heard about. So it was chaired by the Brundtland. They chaired the Brundtland Commission, coined Our Common Future in 1987, which was one of the foundation basis for the Sustainable Development Goals. Here, the United Nations, by the Agenda 21, Rio Plus 20, and 2030 SDG Agenda, which was taken up in 2015. So here we see the development of sustainable development. Then we have behavioral geography. So under the behavioral geography, we have Kevin Lynch. So he has developed mental maps and urban perception, which is also provided in the image of the city work, okay, which is quite important here. Then we have Gold Age. The spatial congestion, cognition, and the human environment interaction is provided here by the Goldie, where we see that how the space is being utilized and how the human interaction of the space is being done here, and which is basically implying the behavior of human beings towards the environment. And contrarily, now the environment is having a behavior with respect to human beings by affecting their health. So this is an important perception which we can see from the mental map and the spatial cognition map here. Then after this, when we look at the other perspective part here, or we can see the real world solution. Okay, this is the real world solution part. So first solution is provided by institutional strengthening. So we need to build capacity in developing nations through training, infrastructure, and governance mechanism. So for this, we have a well-known theorist and a Nobel laureate who has emphasized the polycentric governance and local resources management in institutions. And he has given this in his work, Governing the Commons in 1990. Then we have polluter pay principle, holding chemical producers financially responsible for environmental harm, which was institutionalized in the OECD guidelines, also in the Rio Declaration in 1992. So these two parts can be added up with respect to polluters pay principle. Okay, so under the Rio Declaration, it was part of principle number 16. Then we have public awareness. For the part of public awareness, we have eco-labeling, campaigns, and educational reforms for chemical literacy. So here UNESCO's ADS framework is also working for education and sustainable development simultaneously. Then we have a geospatial monitoring, okay, which is an important tool in the contemporary time, where the GIS, remote sensing, and AI is used to track pollution sources and chemical hotspots. Here, the Ian McHugh, okay, who was the early advocate of GIS in environmental planning, he has done this in the work of Design with Nature in 1969, applied today through NASA, ISRO, and NVSAT's India 2025. Okay. When we look at a certain part here, we should also look at certain conventions which are important for us to understand that how this system is working. Okay, so here we have certain conventions. Number one, here we have Rotterdam Convention. Okay, here we'll be looking at the various, I'll just delete it. Under the Rotterdam Convention, which came into force in the year of 2004, here we'll be seeing that it requires a prior informed consent. Okay, that is PIC. That is the hazardous chemicals and pesticides in international trade. Apart from this, it also promotes the shared responsibility and transparency in chemical trade. It requires exporters to inform and obtain consent from importing countries before shipping listed hazardous substances. It almost covers 52 chemicals. As of 2025, including pesticides and industrial chemical also. Now, number two here we have that is Stockholm Convention. Which also came into force in 2004. Okay, here it is working on the elimination or restriction of persistent organic pollutants. Okay, so here it is basically targeting the chemicals that bioaccumulate, okay, which persist in the in the biosphere and also travel long distances. For example, DDT, then PCBs, also dioxins. Okay, here it is also introduced as dirty dozens, which now includes many more POPs in the contemporary time. It emphasizes the precautionary principle and global action to protect health and ecosystems. Then we have number 3 as Basel Convention. Now, it came into force in 1992. Okay, it controls the transboundary movement of hazardous waste and their disposal. Okay, here it prevents toxic waste dumping. Toxic waste dumping from developed to developing countries. Okay, we will look at certain case studies where certain chemicals waste they are being sold to the nations of Africa, India, China, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Myanmar, and the other developing countries where those goods are in demand, but it is a waste for that developed country. Okay, so this kind of waste they are sold to those countries, which became a dumping ground in the contemporary time. Now, this convention also provides for the requiring of prior informed consent for waste shipments. It covers e-waste, plastic waste, incinerator ash also. It also promotes environmentally sound management of the hazardous waste also. Okay, so therefore we see that this is one of the important part where we see various conventions which are working for the chemical pollution. Okay, guys, so this is one of the case study on the Global Science Policy Panel on chemical pollution. So do write in the comment box, how did you like this video? How did you like this case study? And do like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Apart from this, if you are interested in answer writing, live answer writing, or you are interested in case studies, okay, which is apart from this case, which can be used for the 2026 mains examination. So you can join our Telegram group and you can also visit our website, which is provided here, okay, and or you can call me at this number for any kind of queries. So see you in the next case study. All the best and take care.